morning, you guys, and welcome back to Willow Creek Homestead. My name is Kenzie if you are new here. And for this week's video, we are going to be starting on the pantry together. Now, I'm going to flip you guys around. It looks bare in here, but you guys have no idea the amount of stuff that's in here that we have to go through. This room has just kind of turned into a catch-all. I have been waiting for my husband to start the shelving in here so that we can start organizing and going through all of these boxes, and we have our work cut out for us. So I'm gonna flip you around. I'm gonna show you what the space is looking like. I'm gonna kind of go over the stuff that has already been done and kind of the vision for what is to come. And then we are gonna start going through boxes and finally getting some jars put on these shelves together. I also want to can up some chili with you guys, so I will insert that at the end of the video because my husband has been begging me to do chili. This time of year, he takes chili with him to work. He's a chili fanatic, so we got to get a bunch of it canned up, but I haven't really had the space to put it yet. So let me show you what this is looking like because it's a disaster. Okay, so judgment-free zone because this is what my pantry is currently looking like. Like I said, this has just become a catch-all for all of my canned goods and things whenever we moved from the old house. And if we walk out the pantry door, you guys, I still have tons of stuff over here and over there that also needs to be unpacked and put in my pantry room. So this room is approximately 13 by 15. This is the pantry room, and then there is one right beside it for my husband's hunting room. So we both got equal space for each room to do whatever we wanted with. And my husband, over the past several days, has started building all of our shelving. Now, I did go ahead and put some stuff down here, and I'll walk you through that. But here is the vision, okay? I have some touch-ups and things that I need to get to, but I would rather move some jars out of the way and be able to replenish this and then do that than to kind of go through all of the touch-ups and things first. So here is all of this shelving. They are 5 high and I believe 8 or 9 wide. So the vision here is going to be shelving all the way on the back of the wall as well. And then it is also going to come clear around to the end of that wall right there. This little stand-up cupboard used to be at our old house. If you remember, I had just canned goods and stuff in it for the kitchen, but this is going to turn into kind of my canning essentials pantry down here as well. So I'm going to kind of put all of that stuff in there. And then I also have one of my shelves that I use for all of my seed starting in here. It still has all of the grow lights on it. And I have another shelf out there that we need to bring in so that I can use that for all of my seed starting stuff. My plan is on this wall right here, I am going to have 2 of my shelves to start seeds on. And then I want to be able to put my dehydrator down here, which is out in the basement currently. I think in this room, I will have enough room to do my seed starting shelves with all of my seed starting essentials. So we will get to that probably on another day. But for right now, we need to start sorting out all of this canned stuff and getting it placed on our shelves and kind of starting to put this pantry together. Oh, guys, we have our work cut out for us. I guess there's no other way to do this besides just to start, but trying to be a little bit methodical about how I want to do this. So for the top shelf, for sure, this is going to be for empty jars and just storage stuff. And I'm thinking maybe this top shelf here we'll do for ready-made stuff, a portion of it. And then pickled items will all go together. Jams and jellies will all go together. The thing of it is, though, is my boxes are so spread around that I don't want to put things on there and think that that's it and then have to re-put jars up there. So maybe I'll just walk back and forth between the 2 rooms, grab what's out there also as I go and kind of try and keep it organized. But I guess I'm just going to start with each box. So this one here is all chicken broth, and chicken broth I use a lot for my stocks and stuff. So that is something I probably am going to put over here. Fall on my face. That would be really good, wouldn't it? And we just made a whole bunch of chicken broth too. So let's go ahead. Why don't we start putting broths over here? I feel like it's really easy to say oh, if I don't like it, I'll just change it. But in reality, if you've ever had to reorganize a pantry or redo it, it's a lot of work. So I'm going to try to keep things in their permanent locations and kind of think about it a little bit. Remember, we also have more shelving coming in. So I guess if something gets put here that I'm not like a super big fan of, I will probably just move it over. But the rest of the shelving is probably not going to be done for, I don't know, another month or so. My husband is super, super busy, and I am like super grateful that he was even able to complete this portion of it. So eventually we will have more space, but for right now, this is what we're working with. Oh, good thing I'm doing this. Ready? That needs pitched. There's another one, you guys. What in the world? Okay, 2. That stinks. But it's good that we caught them. And then also don't forget to put any of your older jars in front so that you can keep everything rotated a little bit better. I did go out and get a second box so that I could run through all of these properly. See, like this one, for instance, that is a 24, so that needs to be up front. And eventually I want to paint the front of these black or something and do like a chalk marker label so that like whenever my husband or my family comes down here, they don't have to read the tops. They can just look at the labels themselves. But until I get the other shelves and kind of get everything in the permanent location that they're going to go, I'm not going to worry about that. But I have seen a lot of people do that, and it looks really, really nice in a pantry. The other thing is, you guys, is we just canned up a whole bunch of chicken stock, and I actually had a lot down here already in the other room that I didn't even know I had. So that is another reason that we really got to get this done, because the more canning projects I do and like I can't see what I already have in stock is not very good or ideal for me at all. Because I thought I was low on chicken stock, and as you can see, we're actually not. But that's okay because we use a lot of this during the winter months. Once you start cooking from scratch, you'll realize that you need stock for like a lot of recipes. Okay, so I got all of the chicken stock out from all those boxes. I had to run outside really quick, you guys. I have a chicken, if you guys have been watching my shorts, Trixie. She has coccidiosis, and that is just such a nasty parasite. She was doing really, really good for a couple days, and now she's back to not doing so good, so I had to go outside and check on her. So that's stressing me out a little bit, but we got to power through it and try and get this done. So I think for this shelf, I'm going to do broth and then meats and then like potatoes, beans, that sort of thing, because that can all just kind of be like in the same category of stuff, you know, like pre-made, whatever to use for stuff. And I did go ahead and look out there though at like my jars and things like that. You guys, I have so much stuff that needs to come in here. It's not even funny. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room. And we even ate down on all of this stuff like as the house was being built, because I just knew like I didn't want to carry all of this stuff over here with me and like unbox it all. And I still ended up with a crap ton. So we'll see if this is enough room. If it's not, it's not. And we'll just make more space to store it until we get more shelves. And I also know that I have a lot of jars that need dumped out, like canned carrots. We just don't eat these at all. And I just had 2 jars left of them, so I'll probably give those to the chickens, and then we'll get a bunch of the other stuff that needs dumped out. I know I have some pickled items that I also need to go through. So these are all the Great Northern beans that we just canned together the other day. And if you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. I'll leave it for you guys. But then I walked out there and found more. So I think we should be good and stocked up on these for a little while at least. And Great Northern beans are really, really nice to have for ham and beans. My family and I really enjoy that, and that's what I use to make them with. Sorry if you can hear banging outside. My father-in-law is putting siding on the outside of our house, so that is in the process of being finished, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once we pick out our color, because I have to go out there and paint it. For any of you that are new around here, I work in construction, which that is why I look like this. Usually I don't film my videos in my work attire, but I did decide to stay home to kind of help take care of Trixie today because she just didn't seem like she was doing very good, and I didn't want to leave her. So that is why I am home, which is nice because I have a very flexible schedule and am able to do that whenever I need to. So that has always been really nice about running my own business, is I can be flexible with my work hours in case of emergencies. And I know someone is probably going to ask if I plan to put things in the front of this, like a little rail of some kind. I'm in Iowa. We really don't have to worry about hurricanes, but I am going to eventually put something in the front of this, or maybe just like a bungee cord for now, just to kind of ensure that none of these fall off for any reason. This is just some ground venison that I do for dog food, and I forgot I made a bunch of this, so I moved those potatoes down so I could put that by the chicken. Okay, and then for this shelf down here, I think we're gonna do corn and green beans. I usually do have a lot of jars of corn and green beans, so I don't want to move anything too much further around up there. So for now, we'll just stick all of this down here. And this was my first year making canned corn, and I highly recommend. It is like eating fresh sweet corn. It's so good. I'm definitely going to need more shelves. Probably sooner than later, but this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, you guys, because I have so many tomato products. So for right now, I think I'm going to devote this bottom shelf to tomato products. The top is going to be for jams, jellies, and pickled items because I know I have a ton of those as well. And we have a huge spaghetti sauce day coming up that we are going to make a ton of spaghetti sauce together. And I fear that I am not going to have enough space to put these. Okay, so then this is just a bunch of tomato juice that we all made together. I have tons of spicy tomato juice in my other boxes, but I don't think I'm going to keep all of these, you guys, because I did go ahead and make a bunch. So we will probably just keep a couple of them and then get rid of the other ones because they are a bit older. All right, you guys, so I got some more stuff put up there. That all is looking really good. Now the bulk of the rest of the stuff that I need to put away is just like my canning supplies and essentials. And like I said, I am gonna go ahead and use the stand-up pantry to house most of that. I got a ton of boxes out here. The bulk of it is just the rest of that stuff. So I grabbed a rag. I'm gonna go ahead and get this wiped down really good. And then we can go ahead and start filling up a bunch of this stuff. And I kind of regret not organizing my stuff a little bit better. We were in such a rush, like as the house was getting built and being finished and stuff, that I just didn't have a lot of time to like organize my stuff adequately before we moved over here. And it's been kind of a pain to go through it all, but better late than never, I guess. Okay, so on this top shelf, I have a ton of like Ziploc and freezer bags that I'm gonna go ahead and put up here. Here are some of my Mylar bags, and then I just have some extra food containers. And then we can get all of these Ziploc bags up here. And then I have two of these fermentation crocks that we can go ahead and put in here. I got these on Amazon. They're really, really nice quality. I will link them down below. I haven't really gotten to do a whole lot of fermenting this year, but I want to make some more sauerkraut with you guys. And then here are the weights and the little wooden thing that goes with it. I do have another one that I have to get out and put with that as well. So this is all stuff for fermentation as well. These are things that you can put in the top of your jars, and then these are the little burpers. So I think I'm just going to keep all of it in this and set it right in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put all of my canning lids and rings in here. All right, you guys, I'm not done, obviously, but look at this. Doesn't this look absolutely incredible? Okay, so let me go over just like each individual little thing really quickly and cover some spots that I didn't talk over. So down here, this was the first shelf that I kind of started the other day after my husband got all of this done. So I have a ton of spaghetti squash from the garden. These are also called Japanese pumpkins. I got these seeds from M.I. Gardner, and I have never tried them before, but I want to cook up some recipes with you guys and try them together. And then over here is all of my potatoes. Even after canning a whole bunch, we still have quite a bit. Now, this will definitely not be enough to get me through winter, but still very, very happy with the amount that I was able to get on my first year doing in-ground. And then over here are all of my red onions. I believe these are Ruby Red and Red Wing, both from Johnny Seeds and M.I. Gardner. And then down here we have a mix of Walla Walla and Patterson onions. And for these being approximately like going on 2.5 to 3 months old, you guys, they look absolutely incredible. And then I have already ran out of room, so I just went ahead and picked out some things that I knew we were gonna want to use that didn't need to be in a box. So there's peach jam, barbecue sauce, mango habanero sauce, and hot sauce. So then up here, I just went ahead and took all of my empty jars and put them back into the ball boxes. Up here is a bunch of dehydrated things. So like there's cherry tomatoes, garlic, onions, zucchini, onion tops, basil, and celery flakes. And then I also have some purple sauerkraut. I need to make the white kind with you guys as well. And then we have some sausage potato soup. And then going down below that is all of the pickles. We have dill pickles, spicy pickles, bread and butter pickles, flaming hot pickles, and then a bunch of relish. And then we also have a bunch of different kinds of pickled peppers, along with pickled onions, corn relish. And then here is a bunch of cranberry sauce. This is apple juice, cherry juice, cranberry juice. This is peach moonshine. And then we have peach simple syrup, some peach pie filling, and peaches in syrup with applesauce. And then the rest of these two shelves I kind of covered with you guys, but look at how beautiful, you guys. I am so freaking happy about this. I really wish I had my other shelf so that I could get all of this done, but still super, super happy with all of the progress. I've been down here for probably 4.5 hours, just sorting through everything, going through all the boxes, bringing in boxes that were in the basement, putting things where they need to go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the older canned goods that I'm not gonna keep. I'm gonna go upstairs, get the jars rinsed out, get all of those jars put away, and then either tonight or tomorrow, we are gonna can up a big batch of chili together. So I will see you whenever we go to do that. So I got up early the next morning and got started on all of this chili. My husband actually decided to do the backsplash in my kitchen on this day. So that is a work in progress. I can't wait to show you what we ended up picking out. But basically, you can make this however you would like to. Remember, since we're pressure canning, the recipe doesn't really matter as long as the ingredients are safe to be pressure canned. So all I did was just do some hamburger, and then I'm using some pre-canned tomato sauce and some beans and chili, along with some home canned beans, and then there is some salsa juice left over from whenever I make salsa every time. I'm really trying to rotate through all of my canned goods that I have because I just want to get to a point where I'm using all of my home canned stuff only. But sometimes I do accumulate these things whenever they go on sale. It doesn't hurt to have extras of them, but especially for like chili and different like canning ready-made meals, any of the tin can products I have, it's just a really good application and way to get those used up. So after I combine all of the ingredients, and I will leave a similar recipe for you down below, but like I said, you can really make this however you would like to. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. I went ahead and topped it off with 2 large chopped up onions and then a Miss Wages seasoning chili packet. Now, I've never tried their chili base before, but I saw this at the farm store whenever I went to get my chicken hermetication, and I use Miss Wages for my pickled items. I really, really enjoy their seasoning packets, so I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and give this a try, and it is incredible. So if you are looking for a chili based seasoning to use whenever you're cooking or like canning and stuff, I definitely recommend that one. Something else I wanted to mention is you can definitely re-pressure can your pressure canned beans. So whenever I first started putting my pressure canned items back into my pressure canner, I was really nervous that they were going to get mushy. But in fact, the beans hold up very well. So if you are like skeptical about using your pressure canned meats and veggies and things like that and re-pressure canning them, you absolutely can do that. I know a lot of people go out and buy like fresh stuff to repurpose them into another canned product, but you can absolutely do that no problem. I do it all the time. But after I get my jars filled up to 1 inch of headspace, I just go ahead and wipe down the rims really good. This chili was a little bit runny, so I did not debubble it. If your chili is thicker, go ahead and debubble and make sure all of that is good to go. And then lids and bands get placed on fingertip tight. And then our pints are going to go for 75 minutes and our quarts are going to go for 90 minutes. Now, just remember if you want to mix and match your quarts, you just want to go with the highest pressure canning time. So, since I did both of them, all of this gets processed for 90 minutes for my altitude, but please double check your altitude to ensure the proper processing time for your area. So, thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me for this week's video. You guys know I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next one.